Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hi, I'm Lisa Agberry, your hair doctor, and I'm so excited. Look behind me. I think it's this side, yeah. You see that balloon in the back? That's a Happy Mother's Day balloon from last year. This is a Happy Mother's Day balloon from this year. I hope you guys had a great Mother's Day. I know that anytime I do stuff like this, it dates my video, and it's like, okay, I don't care. I'm living in the moment with you. I just wanted to say thank you for the Happy Mother's Day greetings, and I just, I love you, and I just hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, or evening. We're still in our book on our cyber reading, Black Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair, and today we're going to talk about the journey. If you natural and you're thinking about going back straight, or you're pressing your hair, or whatever you're doing, that journey, if you have natural hair, from kinky to straight, and that's in my book. And initially I wrote a book called The Journey from Kinky to Straight, and I self-published it. It was so much fun. It was like my brain was exploding. It was many years ago. And then Black Woman's Guide, and then Every Woman's Guide, and it goes on and on. God is good. Okay, so let's get your questions in first. And Happy Mother's Day, beautiful, and many more. Happy Mother's Day to you guys. I got a bunch of those greetings. I thank you so much. This particular person has a question. She said, my question is regarding product application. Is it critical to move from applying one product to the other, conditioner, leave-in, moisturizer, sealing oil, within a certain time period? On some of my shampoo days, I can be in between these steps for hours, and I don't know if this will cause damage later. Also, what stage should the hair be during these steps for the best results? Dripping wet, dry, damp, or dry? First, let's start with the last part of your question. The product will adhere to the hair a lot better if it's not dripping wet. You don't want the hair dry, completely dry, but you don't want it dripping wet, because when you're dripping wet, the product runs right off. If it's really dry, of course you're going to hydrate, but it's best to use your leave-in conditioner to wet the hair. And then your cuticle will open a little bit, and your moisturizers, your more dense products, moisturizers and oils, will go in a lot better. So that's the answer to that part of the question. The other thing is layering of your product. You have to remember products and why we're using them. It is important to layer the products, and it is important to put the products on depending on what you need in certain orders and within certain time frames. First, you want to make sure that you have a leave-in, your conditioner, deep conditioning, and then you want to make sure that you put your towel blot after you rinse your conditioner to remove the excess water, ear to ear, front to back, and you just spray in and you open in the hair with your fingers. Remember the technique. You can go on my website and I can show you that technique, and you just work your way from one end of the head to the other, and you just keep repeating it. Now, the reason why it takes so much time, because of the detangling. And you guys have heard me say, you don't need to detangle. Well, what I am saying is you don't need to create a tangle so that you don't have to detangle. If you have a tangle, of course you have to detangle, but if you don't create the tangle, then you won't have to detangle. Okay? And so how do you do that? Every night you dress your hair for bed. Depending on the length of the hair, you determine what you need to do with your hair, how many twists, how many plaits, whatever. What do I mean by dressing your hair for bed? You are going to have to plait or twist your hair and smooth through the hair with your fingers and thumb. You've seen me do it. Go on my website and you'll see it. I do that. I wear a fro. Like today is my frizzy fro day. I love it, and I got a nice little puffy. I'm loving my puff, and I'm pulled up too. It's my little crown today. My giant afro puff on the top of my head. Well, I still twisted my hair last night. I dress my hair for bed. And if I do that, then I don't have to detangle, which won't take hours to layer your conditioners. It takes me a few minutes to put my conditioner and all my leave-in products on. But you have to give your hair its proper attention and then stay with it. So you dress your hair for bed, and then in the morning you just put product on, support products where you're needing them, ends for sure, depending on how humid it is or how cold it is. You want to make sure that you give them your moisturizer if it's dry and or cold, because it's going to drop. You want to make sure if it's really dry and cold, you want to put your oils on top to seal in that moisture. You just want to layer your product, and you want to prevent detangling. I think that's the really big problem you're having there. It's just having the tangles and having to work through the hair. And if you do this daily, you will never have a day where you spend hours. And plus, give yourself a break. You're learning. Go to my website and watch those videotapes. I had a patient to say, I watched the tape over and over and over until I got it. And it's 5 minutes, 7 minutes, some of them max 10-minute tapes. Okay, so just give yourself a break and learn, and give yourself time to learn. Next question or comment. Let's see. She said, I am transitioning to natural, and I am 10 months post relaxer. Woo, yay, yay. My hair is shedding a lot. That's not good. And I may have some breakage as well. I know during this time there will be some shedding, but I feel that I am experiencing too much. What should I do? I have also received some suggestions using castor oil and or cutting all the permed hair. Would either of these help? Because I really like to transition another year. Okay, you have the option to chop, like the person said, cut it, or you have the option to transition, which means you are not going to move from so quickly from natural straight to natural. You're just going to transition. You're going to slowly do it. Castor oil is a oil, and it will give you some lubrication. It's a little bit dense, and I wouldn't recommend it for your hair, but that is an oil that will lubricate and that will seal in moisture. So it's not going to be your cure all. The best thing for you to do, and you said you're shedding. First, if you're shedding, we need to take a look at those bulbs. If you're shedding, you're going to have them, and the bulbs will tell us whether we're shedding prematurely or we're shedding normal or naturally. You can go on my website at lisaacpier.com, and then you can look at strand reading and then send your strands in, and I'll read them for you. If you're breaking, which is most likely what's happening, you're probably having a battle at that line of demarcation where the new growth ends and the chemically treated hair begins, and that's got to change. It's called new growth management. You've got to manage the line of difference. I have a transition program on my site, and it teaches you how to do that. Also, I transitioned. Remember, I relaxed my hair in 2009 after not being straight for 20 years. I'd worn texturizers and others, but I wasn't straight relaxer. And I relaxed it straight, and I transitioned without chopping. I generally keep about 12 inches of hair. I'm not pulling my puff down today. I'm not doing it. I normally will pull. Okay, I'll do it. Okay. Anyway, I usually keep about 12 inches of hair. You can see where my shoulder is. Oh, such a mirror. And my hair is about here. So I generally keep, now it's going to be long on one side today. Well, that's kind of cool. It looks like an asymmetric. Okay, I'll leave it. Alright. Well, anyways, I usually keep about that length of hair, but I didn't have to cut. I didn't have to chop my hair. And that was the beautiful thing about it. It was just, I'm really digging this asymmetric. I think I'll pull some more of it down. What do y'all think? Let's see. And now what I need is a little earring a small earring on that side and a really big one on that side. I actually used to wear that in my asymmetrical. Hey, that's kind of cool. Okay, Lisa, focus, get back to work. All right, so that's really it. You're losing hair probably because you're battling with the new growth line, And there's that line. If we can hydrate that line, you can get that line to smooth out a little more. You can prevent the what we call the webbing, and then you can prevent the matting, so that when you work through the hair, you won't have any tangles. It's really, really important to conquer that, and I'll be more than happy to help you through my transition program. Just go on my website at lisanclear.com. Okay, it says, I have one more question. After I put color in my hair, what products should I use to take care of my hair? I wear my hair natural, like you. Thank God. God bless. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Hightower. Okay, all right. I think that it's really, really important that you balance the hair. You have to have protein and you have to have hydration. Color, you're either going to remove dark pigments, and if you're lightening, that's if you're darkening the hair. Excuse me. If you're lightening the hair, get with it, Lisa. I think it's this asymmetric hair that's got me distracted. But I absolutely love it. And thank you guys. But anyways, color, you're either going to remove the dark pigments and you're lightening your hair, or you're going to deposit dark pigments and you're darkening your hair within the cortical fibers. Once you do that, you've got to balance. So you've got to go back and you've got to strengthen this fiber, and then you've got to hydrate it so the hair begins to balance and the cortical fibers will begin to rest. And in other words, they begin to make sure that the cortical fibers are nice and strong. And those are the bonds within those the cortex, which is the central part of your hair. There are bonds that hold the hair together, so you've got to keep everything balanced and strong. So deep conditioning is what I would suggest, and for sure hydrating every day. It says let's see. Okay, that was another. Okay, so thank you for answering our questions about, yes, you're welcome, about traction alopecia, about ACV. Okay, and then it's just amazing how you are trying to teach us, but God's precious spirit continue rises up in you. This video was for me. I needed to hear about the dry bones being raised. Miracles. Lord knows I really did. So even if you do receive a backlash, know that you have someone truly spiritually and emotionally. You notice that you helped someone. Thank you. Oh, to God be the glory in Jesus. I just have to say this. You know, this is what we're here for. We're here to bless. Do you know that when we bless others, we're actually being blessed? And if we could get that, if we could just get that right here, if we could just say, okay, if I help you, I'm going to get a lot of joy. I remember once Bill Clinton was interviewed on Oprah, and he said, you know, really, it's the easy, you know, what did he say? He said something like, it's really kind of easy to help people. No, how did he say? I can't remember exactly how he said it, but the point he was trying to make, he was saying that you get so much joy when you help people. You're really doing it selfishly, you know. He said, because it's bringing you pleasure. If you really paid attention to it, every time you help somebody, you get this spark and you have this joy. And I think what he was saying is that we really, really don't understand. We're missing it when we don't help people. So what I do, and I know I messed that way up, but what I do is I do what I feel God is leading me to do, and that's just to bless. I'm using what I've been given, and I'm helping others. So thank you for that. I love you. Thank you. Okay, it said, I was admiring your Mother's Day balloon. I got 2 today. I actually had 3, and I gave one to one of the little moms on my team. And she put it right at her desk, and I was thinking, you're just going to make every mom in this building jealous, aren't you? But I said, that's okay. I gave it to you. I thought she was going to take it right home. But anyways, it says, wow. You have twins. I do have twins. Yes. You're truly blessed. I appreciate you for giving me your expert advice. I'll check out your products soon. See you on the next vid. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Question. Should our products change as our hair grows? I have been natural for 17 months. I noticed that what used to work for me in the beginning of my natural journey isn't working for me now. Okay. Well, you don't have to change your products, but the needs of the hair may change. For example, when you have relaxed hair, the relaxed hair has been chemically treated, so you will have needs there in two ways. One, that hair is usually going, because the cuticle has been open, it's hard, you won't need as many hydrating, there are not as many layers there, so you don't need as much of your hydrating support products. You'll still need to deep condition, you'll still need those things, protein and moisture, but you won't need the amounts of product that you needed with natural hair, because your natural hair has most of its layers, unless you've damaged your natural hair. It has most of its cuticle layers, and you have not damaged those away with chemicals. And the same case with heated tools. So when your hair changes, you just need to adjust your the amounts of your leave-in products, but the needs are still the same. You just have to have deep conditioning. You have to have hydration. You need lubrication, and you also want to remember support products. You use those as needed. If your hair and scalp, like I don't have to oil my scalp, because my scalp, I keep my scalp healthy. I take care of it so it doesn't dehydrate anymore. It just happened. Because we have oil and sebaceous glands that will give us the oils. And a lot of times we tend to overdo certain things with debris and dirt clogging up our pores. So then we put our oils on it, and then we've got this big, well, I say oils, but the grease products, then we have this big buildup. So there's just a lot to be said about this. But to answer your question, you don't necessarily need to change your products as much as you change how you use them. Okay, and I hope I didn't mess that question up. I'm telling you guys, I'm drifting today because of this asymmetric hair, and it's really, really, really trying to draw up, but I'm going to keep moving it down to keep it asymmetric, because I'm loving it. I'm liking it. Okay, alright, short on this side and long on this side. Okay, thank you, Dr. Ackbeard. Hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day as well. I did. It was fabulous. And I planned it myself. That's the beautiful thing. You know, my daughters today was like, Mom, you're so hard to do for it. You just have everything and blah, blah. It's not that I just like simple things. So, let me tell you what I did. Would y'all like to know what I did Mother's Day? I know you would. I got up that morning. This is what my plan. I got up that morning. I said I want to go and work out. So I went to the gym. You know, I'm always battling I'm not going to talk about what I'm battling. You all know. But I enjoyed it. And plus, it's really stress. I went to the gym, and then I went to Starbucks, and then I sat and had my latte and water, and I had my sermon on, and then I was supposed to go to church, but my daughters came and joined me, and we sat there and we fellowshipped right at Starbucks. And then I went back home, and then it was kind of misty and rainy here, so I wanted to go to the park for a picnic breakfast, kind of, sort of. And my daughter had stayed up that night before, and she packed all this stuff. And so we went to have our little picnic breakfast, and it was not raining then, but it was still real cloudy, but I didn't care. We did it, and I took my roses. My room was really full of roses. I asked my daughter to please, put together something and put my picture. So I'm going to put my picture with my office with all my roses and stuff people gave me. It was really beautiful. But anyways, so we took those and put them all in one. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4 different vases, and we put them all in one big vase. And we set that on the picnic table. And it was just beautiful. People were coming out walking their dog, and they were looking, oh yay! And I had my balloon. I got another balloon over here that's a Happy Mother's Day that's on my flowers. And anyways, so that's what I did. It was beautiful. You know what? We've got a lesson today, and I have not talked about any of that. Let's see. I think I've got everything. You're wonderful. Thank you for taking the time. You guys are wonderful. That's who's wonderful. It's not me. You are helping me because I love you and this is what I do. Okay, the journey from kinky to straight. Okay, let's be realistic about relaxers, okay? Can we just talk today and be realistic about relaxers? You know the risk, but those of you who wear them, you want them anyway. You just want your relaxer. The risk, you know the risk of heated tools, really. But you want it anyway. That's some of you. For some women, the journey from having their hair natural and the journey from going from straight to kinky has been a little, tough and challenging. They don't know what to do with their hair. It's like we're running from something, but we don't know where we're running to. And so we get a little challenge. It's only when we run back to our relaxer. So how do you run from kinky to straight? Well, for some women, the journey from kinky to straight will begin with a relaxer. Many feel that it is an ultimate way to control and manage our kinky hair. But we know different now. We know that you don't have to relax your hair to control it. We don't have to relax it to manage it. But it's like an addiction, and we really feel we have to. Many feel that it is an ultimate way to manage it, but to most, the journey is a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. We relax, we grow natural. We relax, we grow natural. We be chopped, we grow natural. I mean, it's just a cycle. And then when we're relaxing our hair, we have this never-ending cycle of hair and scalp problems. We have our hair that sometimes it seems longer, and sometimes it seems shorter. Sometimes our scalp itch, sometimes it feels better. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the journey from kinky to straight. So if you have friends who wear relaxers, this is the vid for them. Okay? Alright, it says, in one of my surveys, I revealed that the average black woman experienced major hair loss at least 4 times in a lifetime. And you know what? This is an older, and I'll say that, this is, actually now it's more than 4 times. And it's like every 10 years, they're losing hair. Every 10 years, you're going to have some kind of hair problem. And this is what I'm seeing. Wow. Bummer. I feel that women who chemically relax their hair choose to do so in order to have style control and manageability. But so often in their quest to control their hair, they seem to destroy their hair. The improper use of the chemical relaxer accounts for more than 50%, and those numbers are rising, of the hair loss among black women, ranging from chronic hair breakage to even alopecia, because the process of relaxer is to soften, straighten, thin, dissolve if you overuse it, improperly use it. One reason for this problem is that most clients don't take this chemical treatment of their hair serious enough. As a professional, I am required, licensed professionals are required to pass a state board examination to obtain a license before applying chemicals to their clients. Yet, a regular consumer can go and buy a kit over the counter. Don't you think something's a little wrong with this picture? And don't think just because a relaxer is sold over the counter that don't you think that just because a relaxer is so, and I know what I want to say, but I want to read from the book because I tend to go on and on and on, and I don't want to run out of time. Okay. Alright, so I will just read it, Lisa. When a chemical relaxer is applied to your hair, many changes occur within the hair strand. The chemical travels past the cuticle, we talked about that, layers into the cortical fibers, and then it breaks down bonds and they're reformed to a straight form, allowing the hairs to have the relaxed look permanently. This is a permanent reaction on the hair, and it occurs within the shaft. Therefore, proper analysis, pre-treatment, conditioning, preconditioning, proper application, rinsing, removal of the relaxer, and then reconditioning is absolutely a necessity. You must do it in order to assure that no damage is done to your hair. Something simple as, once the relaxer is rinsed, clean the towel, change the neck, clean the towel, change the towel, clean the neck wrist. Before you put the shampoo on, microscopic traces of relaxer are left on the neck wrist. All those small things are major, major, major important. So what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to talk about these things, some of the things you got to be careful about, and we're going to preventing damage with chemicals. I know that I spent a lot of the time talking with you on my questions. I love you. I hope you forgive me for that. Talking with you and answering your questions, but really just kind of talking about Mother's Day because I was uber excited. I may even have these balloons up next week. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to take my balloons down because I love them. And people gave them to me, and I just thought it was just so sweet. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more about relaxers. We're going to stay with that just a little bit. And keep your questions coming, guys. I love you, love you, love you. I've actually got a class to go and teach, and so I'm going to get right to that. And I will see you guys next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a blessed and wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, in reverse, or night. I love you. To God be the glory, Jesus. You know who I serve. And just keep the questions coming, and I'll see you next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor.